don't mind too much how this has turned out on these guys with the sponging, but these smaller dudes, I really don't like the texture, and the fact that I can't get to half the model with it, you end up with a lot of yellow, and like here is just taking away all the detail that I'm going to have to get back somehow. Not really happy about that either. I don't know. Sponging just doesn't seem that good. Like, oh, again, on like massive flat surfaces, looks fine. But I think I'll just stick to stippling with a dry brush because that seems to function a lot better, in my opinion. So this is the color scheme I kind of ended up picking because I know I wanted the yellow. Obviously that's a mustard there more than, but I've gone with a less greeny green, more an olive green, because I wanted the yellow to be the main pop color. And I think it's mostly turned out okay. Like, I've got obviously the strapping. I'll put this in because they're both in frame at the same time. I've got the strapping. I've got everything's sort of undercoated in this dark brown. So like underneath everything is kind of this dark brown. That's what the base coat was on everything. So I'm highlighting from that, which means I can do the leathers fairly easily. I just have one extra highlight on the leather thing. Then the strapping I've done in this sort of eggplant purple color, which I've only done one highlight on because again I want to keep everything dark. I've done the bronze, oh sorry, not the bronze, the copper color, which unfortunately lends itself into the orange yellow, so it's a little bit too close to the actual yellow, but as long as I keep it darker, I think it's okay, and only do major highlight points for the non-metallic metal. It should stay dark enough that it doesn't take too much away from the yellow. But yeah, I think it's okay. Obviously the sponging effect on the metal is looking pretty crap, and it's making, because of the undercoated brown, it's making the yellow come out quite green in places. Or probably the whole thing, actually. I don't know if it's just the lighting in here, but it's not that great. So I need to really do an overdo of that. But otherwise, yeah, this is the color scheme. I'm not sure if I'll keep the purple. Maybe because I've got the red, which is going to be the base color anyway, because that's what the earth's going to be. But I put the red into these little notches, like little rope pieces that hold his armor together. And I might just turn them into like just a plain white, just so they don't steal. Like, it just seems like a lot of color. If they're just plain white, maybe there won't be as much color on the thing. I don't know. Alright, so we've just gotten this. So hopefully, the idea is that this will sit in here so I can record it. But they didn't say that these... Oh, it does. Okay. I thought it was for a second there. I was like, it doesn't actually extend. And what a crappy product. But it does extend. Huzzah. Alright. Yeah. Alright, so if I can get that to... Come back a little bit. Something like that. But not be directly in the light of the thing that I'm trying to do. Something like this, maybe. Ooh, how does that look? Boopity boopity boop. Okay, I don't get as much light from this. I might have to set up the other light thing as well. But otherwise, that's going to work well. Sweet! Alright, so we're into week 4 or 5 or something of doing this. I didn't really know what I was going to be doing initially when I started making this YouTube channel. It's not really changing from that. Like, what I intended to do originally was just, I want something that I can kind of be doing weekly, uploading, and keeping my projects set. So it's like, okay, this is my next set thing because this is the video I'm going to be uploading about that thing. Because I quite often just start doing everything else. Like, like I'm ADHD, I get distracted very easily, I get bent out of shape on things very easily, so just trying to keep myself set on something that I'm doing while I'm on my meds can be difficult for me. So I was like, I'm just going to upload videos, I'm going to start this, so like if no one ever watches these videos, it's not going to matter, because the point of this is just to keep myself locked onto particular projects. And it's gotten to that point now where I'm like, I think I know what I want to start doing project-wise moving forward is, because, you know, I live in the One Page Rules space. I don't play Warhammer and stuff, I play One Page Rules. I think I'm just going to start trying, like my goal now is going to be to paint a skirmish army for all the different factions in both Grimdark and Fantasy. Now, I've already got a few, and I'll probably do a video another time about what I've already got, because I've shown off a couple of models here and there, but I think I'll, if anyone ever watches these, yeah, I've shown off a couple of models, so I'll go through and I'll start, pinpointing what it is. I'm going to try and, sort of switch between Grimdark and Fantasy, on a week or project-by-project basis, because it depends on how much time I get to paint on a weekly basis as to how quickly I get through each thing. I'm going to actually, it's not just going to be I'm painting up a few models from each faction. I'm going to build an actual skirmish team that is functional, or at least in my brain will make sense until it gets played on the table and gets utterly destroyed, like most of my groups do. But yeah, so for the first one, I decided to do my orcs, because they've been sitting in a box for ages, and this also gives me a chance that, again, if anybody ever watches these, to showcase some of the amazing STL creators that are out there. I will obviously be doing some of the ones from OPR, but OPR doesn't have miniatures for every single thing yet. They are quite behind on that, actually. I do have OPR miniatures, and so for the ones that I do have, for those that I really like, I will be using their miniatures. But they've started releasing the Orc Marauders. I don't really like them that much. I much prefer my Puppetswar guys. So if I can get the light over here a little bit better, or maybe I'll just bring this over here instead. Do a swap around. I just drove over my cat's tail. Okay, so these are my Orc boys, and you might be wondering why they're in such a weird painted order. That'll be in the rest of the video. But yeah, this is what I'm going to start with. So we're going to go through what this group is, and I'll try to put a thing up on the screen of the actual page from One Page Rules, but I've got my Orc leader, the idea is to give my specialists extra shooty. So they've all got shooty, and they get extra shooty, which allows them to roll doubles if they to double hit if they roll a 5 or a 6 on shooting. So they're all bad shots, so they only hit on 5s and 6s, but it means if they do hit, they hit twice. So that's them, and then I've got my 2 invader dudes from behind. Then I'm going to drop down and try to get into back stuff. And then I could have printed this. It's supposed to be a smaller dude. He's just a medic to give my group regeneration. So he'll be hanging out with my specialists and my boss. But I already had this model, and this model looks amazing. So yeah, I just decided that like this bit comes off because it's all magnetic. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'll just do this guy, and if I want to turn him into a big boss thing later, I can do that. But yeah, so that's the goal now. So we're going to be starting with this, and the rest of the video is going to be me painting some of this stuff up. I will probably not be finished it in this video. We shall see how far I get, but this is the general color scheme I'll be going for. I just haven't finished all the other bits. This was my original guy that I was testing everything on, and then I've kind of moved on to a different model. Anyway, you'll find out about that later. So, I've gone over a lot of the back over the brown to get rid of the over brushing from the sponge, or over sponging on the yellow, but I still just don't really like the texture and the way it's come out. Specifically, I like the fact the yellow is big and bold. I love that. But decided I want to go for a more non-metallic style, even though I'm trying to keep these projects quick, I guess. So, oh, that guy there, knocking everything over. So I painted this guy up, and with the non-metallic, he's not, obviously I haven't finished all his strapping and all that sort of stuff. I've just kind of done the flag quickly, and then his armor. I think I'm going to stray away from the color card, which I was doing this color card, and I started, where's the other guy that I did that on? This guy, who I've now gone back over and started redoing this dark color, because I'd put this on on the metal up in here, on the bars, and while it was fine, it clashed a lot with the bright yellow that was on there, because this is supposed to be more of a mustard color. So it clashed a lot, and I'm not sure if I wanted the purple strapping and the brown and that sort of thing. So I'm going to turn this into probably more of just I'll probably keep the purple on the swords, the sword handles, because I think that looks really cool. And then probably just do their guns and stuff and just like a dark metallic. I might use true metallics. I might just do a quick non-metallic with just like a black wash and then some quick highlights or something for most of their medals instead of using this for the medal. So I'm just using this as the, instead, well, it's on that medal. It's on him for the under color here. And then I'll just turn that up into their non-metallic metal yellow. So I'm still trying to keep it as close to like a bright yellow as possible, and I think that'll look really cool on the table. I'm just got to finish off the other medals now, and yeah, should look okay. Hopefully I don't have to restart this again. Alright, so all the orcs have now been ochred up. I tried my best, because obviously the idea was to have the brown in all the recesses on the armor when I was sponging on the yellow, so that it still had that sort of ruined, used look on the armor. I tried to keep it where I could, like especially in and around like the feet and the plates but it's just, the whole point was then to cover up the yellow, so the yellow covered up too much. So hopefully the wash at the end will bring back some of that, but yeah, otherwise they're all ochred up. So the new program is going to be this, obviously the Sunburst Ochre, and I've put it onto this guy already, as you can see. This is what it kind of ends up looking like. So Sunburst Ochre underneath everything. This is the main color. So I still want the vast majority of the armor to be the demonic yellow like it was, and then just brief highlights of space dust and the tiniest glints of ice yellow, which you can kind of see on this guy, like on the shoulder pad. Like I've done all some of the edges in ice yellow or space dust, but it's still, the majority of the color is still that yellow, but it just has a slightly different tint, but it still comes off a nice yellow. It's not like looking like a weird gold thing. It's still just like a weird grungy yellow color, which is more what I'm going for. So yeah, now I've just got to do that again. I've got to re-yellow all the things I've just painted over. So that's probably going to be this week done, because I don't think I'm going to get anything else done on these orcs. Where am I? These orcs done this week. Not enough to really put in the video. Anyways, so we're going to do that as this week's end. I mean, so something else I got done, we got to go to my local Everson Emporium and get some games in, which was nice. First game I played, weird Knight Brothers setup, which is essentially two guys with ambush coming in and having 4 attacks with double furious. I won that game, and then we played a 3-player map where one of the other guys played with my knights, and he just turn 3 came around, they had 3rd level spells and just proceeded to wipe me off the board of my dwarves, and in the long run he got 7 points with the cards, and the two of us got 6 points, so he won. So someone else can win with my knights at least. That's good to know. Otherwise, yeah, we'll get on to more stuff as of next week. Some more updates on the painting and the writing, and see how everything goes. Thanks for watching, and bye.